Hold on. I don't think we're live. Am I in the right show? You know, hold on. I hit the wrong button. Hold on. Here we go.
I don't think we're live yet.
Welcome, everybody. We are live. Evidently, it did go live, but it gave me a false reading. It said that we weren't live. So then I stopped it, and then I started it, and then it worked. But anyway, we're here. We are here for our 1,000th, say that really fast, our 1,000th episode celebration. We've assembled this. Look at this cast of characters. We've got Reed. Look, Nick is back. Nick is back, and of course, Marco's here. Martin, however, sent a message. Martin's on vacation. Now, if anybody knows how Mr. Popoff plays, when he's on vacation, he is on vacation. Doesn't matter. He's on vacation. So we will have a message from him, but we're just here just enjoying the celebration. And I want to say hello, Reed. Hello, Nick. Hello, of course, Marco. How is everybody tonight?
Doing great. Appreciate you guys inviting me for this. 1,000 episodes, man. That's a crazy milestone.
Yeah.
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Jesus. This is gonna
Same sentiments.
This is now, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be very loose, and it's going to be very. I have no idea where we're going, but we've compiled. Well, Marco did most of the work. I've compiled a couple of things, but Marco compiled various clips that we thought we would share with you. And actually, I think I'm going to turn it over to Marco while I get it ready to introduce what we're going to do. What's our first clip, Marco? And I'll get that together.
Oh, yeah. Let me pull up the list, actually. I don't have it in front of me, but we actually, this was kind of very scheduled. Let me introduce this, I guess, a little bit, too. This was kind of scheduled very on the fly. It was kind of brought to our attention that we were quickly approaching 1,000 videos. And we thought, why not, do something to celebrate rather than just let it kind of pass us by. Any reason to jump on and kind of have fun and have a laugh, I think, is a good reason to do something like this. So we decided, let's have some fun. It's kind of silly maybe, but we put together some clips over the last few years. I mean, we started in 2018, which is, we're at 7 years, almost 8 years ago, we started the show. So time goes by quick. Nick's here, Reed's here, Grant's here. Like, this is awesome. But, we obviously assembled a crew of guys who have hosted the show, and I've been Contrarians pretty much since the beginning. Nick, welcome back. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. It's great to be back. Congratulations to the channel, to the community, everyone. 1,000 episodes. 1,000 episodes 7 years ago. Oh man, I'm just stunned taking it all in. That's makes me feel old.
Well, these clips, some of these old clips, like the first clip we're going to look at, which is, I guess it's the very first episode. Correct, Marco? Very first thing you ever recorded.
Yeah, so this actually is our debut episode 2018, and it was I guess this is Martin and I talking about Rainbow Down to Earth.
All right, let's just play it. Again, keep it. I normally don't. Everybody knows I use StreamYard all the time, but this I'm doing something different. Let's just listen to this clip. Just check it out. Let us know what you think. It's just amazing when you look back to see how this show was done originally. All right, here we go. You just have to laugh.
Basically, your least favorite singer in Rainbow is Graham Bonnet. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
And the lowest charting
singer,
album is Down to Earth.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind. I mean, because I just think the songs are amazing. He does a great job. He is the guy writing the lyrics, so he is in there doing that. I mean, I do love Graham as a singer and as a voice. And you know, he's my favorite Michael Schenker album too. Alcatraz first album is one of my favorite albums of all time. So Graham's all over the place on some great albums.
I mean, he is cool, but if you look at his picture, it does look like his picture should be hanging in a barber shop somewhere on the wall, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, he got a lot of abuse for that too, right? Yeah.
He looks like Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, I just want to go back and make one other point. I mean, if anybody, you know, before you start commenting on this and seeing if I'm wrong, I really want you to check out Danger Zone and Lost in Hollywood and tell me if those aren't two of the greatest Rainbow songs of all time, especially Lost in Hollywood. I mean, Cozy's drumming on that is amazing. Like I say, they go into this whole different verse thing when the solo comes along. It just transitions from part to part. It just hits you hard. It stops for this little classical moment, and then it just, you know, bangs out like a machine gun when it's over.
Wow.
Yeah, for those old videos, I don't think, because of the music.
Oh, there's me. Got to make sure I hit the right button. It's going to be
I love the
loose,
fact
kids.
that album has a song called Top Gun, and in that one picture, he looks, or excuse me, Danger Zone, and he looks exactly like he's in the Top Gun movie in that one picture with his aviator shades.
I think he looks like Tom Cruise or Charlie Sheen. Take your pick. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? We've got another clip here where Nick debates Martin on Thin Lizzy and the new wave of British heavy metal.
Oh.
Let's take a look at that. Why not, since we're on a roll?
This was an early one.
Interesting you bring up a new wave of British heavy metal. I believe this album was released in 81.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just around then you have bands like Iron Maiden coming around who are clearly influenced heavily by Thin Lizzy, you know, the harmonized guitars especially.
Right. Yeah.
And they're taking this sound into a new place.
Yeah.
So, you know, you gave this album 10 out of 10, whereas Rolling Stone and AllMusic both gave it I think it's 2 out of 5. I have notes that Martin doesn't have access to, as usual.
Yeah.
So, you know,
It's
how
a long graphic,
I'm gonna put you
Marco.
into the hot seat here. How can you defend this album?
Yeah, a lot of
It
things
sounds
have
to me,
changed.
personally, when I listen to it, like a refined version of an older sound when at the same time you have a whole bunch of bands coming around that are taking that sound into an exciting new place.
Yeah, that's a good point. I
That
mean,
was a
they
good
are the
point,
old
Nick.
guard, and I guess they are sounding a little bit old. But I mean, what I like about it is there are certain key examples of bands who kind of went for a heavier sound during this time. Wishbone Ash a little bit, I believe. It's more the album cover, this Raw to the Bone thing, long story. But Budgie, definitely, Uriah Heep. There are bands that actually heavied up around this time. And you're right, you know, it's the new wave of British heavy metal time, right in the thick of it, 1981. And they make an album that has quite a bit of mellowness to it. I mean, this album has got no sharp edges whatsoever. And it's got some pretty mellow songs like Fats, which is kind of like a jaunty, jazzy song. Yeah, exactly. Mexican Blood, which is very Latin sounding, but I think they're both great songs. And then, but some of the key songs on this aren't even the super heaviest ones. Like Renegade, No One Told Him, and It's Getting Dangerous are these just super passionate, warm, hard rock songs that are not metal at all. The metalist ones on here are Leave This Town, The Pressure Will Blow, and Hollywood, I suppose, and Agent.
Oh my God. Boy, has production values changed.
we learned a lot though from Martin. You can just hear it, like the conversations we were having were at such a high level. Like I wasn't expecting that, but we had a lot of fun, huh, Nick?
Oh yeah, it amazes me how confident I sounded back then, because I think I thought that I knew a lot when we first started. I was like, I'm gonna be able to hang with all these people. I'm gonna be able to know what I'm talking about. And after a few episodes, it became clear, like, all right, everyone here is on a higher level. Like, you're not gonna catch anybody with some deep insight that they haven't already thought of and taken to another level. It's oh man, those were good times.
I don't want to blow too much smoke up Martin's skirt, but honestly, I don't think anybody thinks about music on the level that Martin does. He's been doing it so long and so in depth because he was writing the books before he started talking about it, and he's been interviewing people. And, you know, I always say it's one thing to have an opinion, but the ability to make your opinion entertaining to listen to, that is a completely different skill.
Marlon, it'll be 1,000 once it airs. It's a live stream. It hasn't happened yet, Marlon. So it will be 1,000. It's okay. But, you know, what would we do without Marlon to throw something out like this? Thank you, Marlon, for keeping track.
Hey, but even, I don't know if you remember, Nick, but even just walking into Martin's office made, like, immediately you felt like you were on a different level, because, like, you just look around and see all these gold records on the wall and, like, signed, like, Black Sabbath records that have 4 signatures on them, Kiss records with 4 signatures on them. Like, just the amount of stuff he had in there was unreal.
Yeah, I remember actually when we saw, because if to paint a picture, every inch of space is music memorabilia. It's all used up. Even when you look up, it's all used. He's filled every nook and cranny. And I think if I remember correctly, we got all these exciting ideas about trying to film a dollying shot of, you know, all the CDs there, and then maybe figure out a way to put in what we're going to talk about and pull it out. And it very quickly, you know, you see the production values. We were a little above our actual skills, but that was an amazing time, amazing first step through that doorway into another world, like you were saying.
I just going through these, I just laugh my ass off. I just want to say, should we bring up like the very first panel discussion that was on the channel? Marco, what do you think?
Yeah, that was a big change. I mean, everybody remembers when, you know, like when COVID-19 came around and everything kind of went virtual and people were doing stuff on Zoom. That changed the whole format of our show. It actually opened up to these big panel discussions, and we met all these cool people that jumped on board to hang out with us. And I guess we're going to take a look at the earliest one.
Yeah, my whole introduction was, and I've talked about this before, was watching Martin and Pete on Sea of Tranquility every Friday. I've said it before. I still stand by it. That is the best music program on YouTube. When Pete and Martin go back and forth and discuss music, I didn't think there could be anything better. Now, I remember one morning I was watching, of course, me a big fan. Martin said that on the Contrarians, we were going to open it up, Patreon. So if people want to come on the show and talk music, we're going to start doing that. Me, I'm going, holy crap. No way. So I joined Patreon right away because I'm in. But I remember that first show. And I was always mistaken. I always thought that Todd Evans was on the first show, but he wasn't. But I'm not sure. I know Jamie. Well, we'll look at it.
Pay attention. Yeah, when you look at this clip, pay attention to how many people have their own channels now in this clip that you're going to show.
I cut it down, but watch me particularly because I was scared out of my mind because I got on this first show and I'm going, well, I should be able to keep up. I can, you know, I know my stuff. But then the first show that we did, the first panel show had Martin on there. And I've been watching Martin on Sea of Tranquility going, yeah, this is great. And then I'm on a show where I have to respond. So it's just, I'm sitting there and I start off and I'm kind of rocking a bit. I am a mess. Oh God. Anyway, here it is. Here is the very first panel show that we ever did. Oh my God. This is so great. All right, here we go.
So hopefully mine records this time because this morning I had an issue. But so thanks everybody for coming to the Patreon Zoom chat of the Contrarians. So I'm going to go back to our thing here. So this is the agenda. We're going to do a quick introduction. Let us know who you are, where you're from. We'll do a quick icebreaker question.
Right now, I'm sitting there
then we're going to get
into
the Contrarian topic discussion. So if anybody saw the poll that was on the Patreon page, the topic that won the poll was underrated bands. So we're going to each go around. Maybe the first time we go around, give the one big band that you want to talk about. Tell us why they're underrated. We'll each give at least one. And then if time permits, maybe we'll do like a second round, or maybe we'll have a impromptu discussion further than that. So introductions. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and what you do. But also, I'm going to tag the icebreaker question onto this as well. What was your first concert experience, or what was the first concert that you attended?
I think my
don't
wife
mind
made
my
that
spelling.
slide.
I'm very bad at spelling, so obviously I messed that up.
I think.
So why don't we go around? I'll start.
I kept a
I'm
couple
Marco.
of them in
I'm
here.
from the Greater Toronto area. I currently live on a farm right now, but I think that's going to end real soon.
Why did you? Why are you showing this?
We've been doing.
Damn it, we
Contrarians
want to
for
know
3
more
years,
about
which is
you.
Really cool. I typically work as a full-time job in social service
my
work, so I
God.
support folks in the justice system find employment. That's my career. The
I can
first concert I ever
fast-forward
went
it.
to when I
Yeah,
was
fast
10 years.
forward, please, God.
So you don't want to see? What did it do? Went too fast.
Let's not forget, you look at this wall of faces, and there's only 3 of those guys, well, 4, including Nick, that aren't still part of the community.
God, you gotta hear me talk. I'm sorry. I am so embarrassed. Let me see if I can find it. Well, Nick talks.
I am Jamie Laszlo.
Oh.
I'm originally from Pittsburgh. I now live in Columbus, but I'm always a Pittsburgher at heart. Behind me, a lot of Pittsburgh memorabilia. My first concert, yours was Kiss on Psycho Circus. Mine was 1978 Kiss, I believe, Dynasty Tour. My dad took me when I was about 10 or 11 years old. And but my first concert as like a teenager was Dio Sacred Heart, like where I drove myself.
I don't think
I love
Jamie
Sacred Heart. I
Laszlo's.
love how he battles a dragon on stage.
Oh,
for
yeah.
20 minutes.
As a 16-year-old,
I don't think Jamie Laszlo's audio's
audio's
been this good ever.
Martin.
Well, I'll give an answer that I normally don't give on the concert thing. But yes, first of all, I'm in Toronto, and writing all these books. I guess moving
Where's
to
me?
Toronto really.
I don't know.
Saw them
Nick-
like 4.
Oh God.
In February of 1993. It was a Keep the
There's
Faith
Tim
tour.
Darling.
I actually met John at the walking through the local mall. This was in Portland, Maine.
Tim's
And
written like
got
6
his
books
autograph.
since
And
then.
the Jeff
Say
Healy
now,
band
Tim's a
opened
published
for
author.
them. So
Yeah, he's done like 6
that was my
books.
first concert.
He's our junior
Cool.
Popoff.
Thanks, Tim. Grant.
Oh.
Yeah, my name's Grant Arthur. I'm from Delaware, Ohio. I work at Ohio Health as an
I am
LMS
shitting
administrator.
myself right here.
And my first concert was 1978.
I can't believe I made
Foreigner
you do
and
this.
Ambrosia.
Yeah, look at that body
Saw 'em on the
language.
OSU campus.
You're doing
Now,
everything you
Ambrosia
can to
opened for
avoid looking
Foreigner.
at the camera.
Foreigner were awesome. Ambrosia were great, but the crowd did not like it
What is it? What did I do?
and were booing him off the stage.
Look
So
at,
David
look at where
Pack
you're
got
looking
pissed
when you
off
talk. Down
and
into
went,
the left.
"Fuck
You're not
you."
looking at your
Sorry.
camera.
To the whole
I
crowd.
know.
And everybody just went, all right, kind of let him play. I'll never
That's
forget because I was
bad.
like 13. I was very impressionable and it was something else.
Cool. Thanks, Grant. Nick S. Squire.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Mario. My name's Nick. Esquire is the pseudonym that I use when I play part-time in a band. I live in Pennsylvania, about an hour west of Philadelphia, and Amish country, actually. And what I do for a living is embedded in that pseudonym, so you can figure it out. First concert,
What was it?
1983,
Yeah.
Pocono Jam, all-day festival in northeastern Pennsylvania. 5 acts on the bill. Headliner. Well, we'll start at the bottom of the bottom of the order. A band. Where are they now? The Elvis Brothers.
Oh, here we
It
go.
was a rockabilly act.
Grant's going into
Second on the
action.
bill was Foghat. Third on the bill was the Joe Perry Project.
Oh, wow.
And at the time, I didn't know.
There you go, the Elvis Brothers.
That is impressive. That is impressive.
There you go. I'm pulling shit out as we go.
Actually, I remember the drummer stood up on his.
Oh my God, that is just terrible. God help me. Oh, I was crapping my pants. Well, at that time I had a monitor. I had 2 monitors and I wasn't used to doing it. So I was watching it on the one. Oh, it was just terrible. I know. I was worked up. It wasn't live. Marco could have edited out. He didn't.
I don't think I was editing those videos. I think I was just putting them straight up.
Putting them straight up. I got to show you another one real quick. This is the second panel discussion. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but you've got to look at Todd. You've got to look at this lineup. You've got to just look at this lineup. All right, here we go. Todd Evans is on here, all clean shaven. Oh, it's so great. Oh, God.
We were all younger then.
All right, here we go.
Everybody, thanks for joining us. If anybody else joins late, I'm just going to add them to the discussion. So you might see one or two more heads pop in, but it looks like that might be this for now because it's already 7:03. Today, we're going to skip the introduction. So if you want to introduce yourself real quickly when I throw it over to you, that's cool.
Martin's
what I'm
having a
going
beer.
to do is I'm just going to mute everybody right now, and I'm going to call on each person. And then when I call on you, you can share your topic discussion. So today's topic discussion, which was voted on by our Patreon fans, is 2 albums of a perfect pair. So it's kind of a vague topic discussion.
Wow,
so I'm
we haven't
interested
done
to
that, like,
see all the different
5
routes
times
this is going to
since,
take and all the different choices people are going to pick and why they pick those choices. For now, I'm going to throw it over to Matt. So I've asked you to unmute yourself if you want to unmute yourself and give us your
still
2
around,
perfect
everybody.
pair
Matt's
albums.
still around.
Hi, everyone. So I'm picking 2 albums not by the same artist, but 2 albums that I think go together as a pair and that are really great albums. So I'm going with Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, and
I remember talking to Todd about this episode, and he was crapping himself on the show. Here.
All right, here we go. I'm going with one that's the same band. First, one album came out in 78. The other album came out in 79. Same producer, same engineer. So it was produced by Roy Thomas Baker. And I think Jeff Workman was the engineer. Now, the one album was recorded in the UK.
I guess
and the
I'm
other
not too
album was
bad.
recorded here at Cherokee in LA. But both albums.
Anyway, you get the idea.
There's the first time we see Reed.
Yeah, well, let's get to. Wait a minute, we're at Todd. Let's listen to Todd just real
Artist
quick.
played on some Sweet Records, turned producer, produced Graham Bonnet and Status Quo, and also wrote and produced a couple of songs on Sweet's 6th album. And
Todd sounds good. Let's find Reed. Let's see.
Said I'm so much heavier back. That was when I was still healthy.
All right, here we
Japanese
go.
music, except for Black Sabbath and Rainbow, and I listened to those because of Dio. I was a huge Dio fan. So believe it or not, my musical journey in the 21st century has been to rediscover the 70s. So I'm going to talk about a couple of bands that I first heard Christmas 2020.
Oh.
So the 2 bands or the 2 albums that I chose for tonight's discussion are Uriah Heep's Abominog and Blackfoot's Siogo.
Oh, I remember you picked those. Yep.
So again, I had no background with either Uriah Heep or Blackfoot, so I didn't have any expectations going into these. But when I listened to them, I thought, are these the same band? And they're not interchangeable, but there are a lot of similarities between the 2 albums now. They're
Damn
both
hippies.
great albums. They're released within 6 months of each other.
Anyway, you get the idea. There's not much difference, really, other than we got better, I think.
I had to look at my notes a lot more often back then.
Yeah.
I think we've done that topic more than
God,
once, too.
Keep hitting the wrong button. Sorry, everybody. Let's see. Do you have that list in front of you, Marco, or no? Or you
I
just
do,
want me just
yeah.
to go? Okay.
Why don't you show Should Rush have gone metal? That sounds interesting. It's kind of topical.
Okay.
I think it's the 4th clip there.
All right, here we go. Should Rush have gone metal? Here we go.
Oh, kind of playing off that, and I'll have some stats for you in for a second, but I just wanted to see. So, in your mind, you're saying that it almost would have been better. Like maybe we would be here if instead of Signals they had made that heavy album. You think that would be what you would say is their best?
Yeah, but it's funny. What happens is, we have this debate with buddies all the time where, like, be careful what you ask for, because when you get what you ask for, you don't really like it that much. And that's kind of the Budgie situation with Power Supply. It's like, yeah, it's their heaviest album, but it's missing all that quirkiness and the production and the progginess of the previous ones. So, and Iggy Pop did that with Instinct, I remember. We were always begging for a heavy Iggy album again, and then he delivers it and you go,
maybe that's not what we wanted, right? We want Weird Iggy back, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, Rush could have easily, and they know this. They're smart guys. I mean, they wouldn't do it because they think it's stupid, but they also very likely could have fallen into parody and just be not loved for doing it, right? And just considered, oh, you're a bunch of boneheads making this heavy music. But yeah, they could have. Imagine, right in that pocket of 80 to about 83, metal's massive, and then that shop closes down, and then metal starts being massive in California starting in 83, 84. With Rat and Quiet Riot and Motley Crue, and then metal's huge right up until about 1991. Rush checks out. They just basically say, we're not making any of that kind of music for you during this period. So whether it's career suicide or you commend their creative streak, they basically they're one of the key examples, and possibly the only and definitely a rare example of a band that just ran the heck the other way.
All right,
that
man.
Audio sounded fantastic, hey Nick?
It was good timing on that. Oh my God, so great. Oh my God. So that actually predates the panel shows though, because you didn't carry on with that format, right? I can't remember.
No, we stopped doing that when the panel started, if I remember right.
All right, yeah.
That was a lot of work doing it that way. Like, we'd have to coordinate, we'd have to meet in person, we'd have to bring in all our own gear, we had to learn how to use it. It was, if you notice, there's like lighting in the background, those purple lights, and that's because at the time I was working as an AV tech, and I would take some of the equipment with me back and just whatever I could get away with sneaking in there to just try and give us a little hint of production value. But yeah, those were a lot of fun. Those are a lot of fun. I don't know, Marco, was it a lot of work for you?
We had to do a lot of research too. That's where a lot of the work was, because like a lot of the bands, like I'd be familiar with the band sometimes, but I wouldn't know like everything about every album. So I'd have to like listen. I'd have to consume an entire band's discography while also doing research and finding like statistics and like printing out notes and like coming to kind of like debate with somebody who is definitely on like a much higher level than I would be of knowledge when it comes to these things. Right. Mm-hmm. But like Martin's the original idea was like, he was going to pick an album that obviously was not the correct answer. And we were supposed to come in and act like he was crazy. Like, you're picking this album? Like, what's wrong with you? Everybody hates this album. Rolling Stone hates this album. Nobody bought it. Like, why are you picking this? Why is this the best album? Sometimes we get pushback in the comments for stuff like that too. But that was Martin's idea. That's what he wanted.
Yeah. Brian, when you saw those original panel discussions, those were 4 years ago. So I don't know. I was probably I think how long have I been doing? Like 2 years. When did you leave, Nick? 2 years ago?
About 2 years ago. Yeah.
Okay. So 2 years.
April 2023, I think.
So 2 years, Brian. Time just zips by. So
yeah, we started doing those in response to the like not being able to meet in person. But when we would meet in person, we would knock off like 4 or 5 episodes in the same day. We would like change shirts in between.
just like you're working on at the news station.
And we'd put up like an episode a month, but then
once a month.
Yeah, it was for a while. And then when we started doing it like this, that format kind of just went away. We don't really do that anymore, but we kind of ran out of bands to do that with,
Yeah.
I had wondered how long you were going to be able to keep that up. Just the concept seemed inherently limited, but once you went to the panels, I actually kind of missed those giant, crazy panels. I think the biggest one was 12 people. That first panel was 11 people, but I think
that was a big
one
panel.
12.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, it was just out of control. And then after that, everybody started doing their offshoot panels. And Ryan Gavalier made a channel. We would go over there and we would start doing shows like on YouTube and different bands. And we were so bad at it that the shows would be 3 hours long. Horrible. Oh my God. It's just hideous. I love watching the large panels. I watch all the old. Well, excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's right.
Rock Daydream. Yeah.
It all started here for Peter. Yes. So anyway,
I'm proud of everyone.
What else we got, Marco? What do you want to show next?
We got a. What about Martin? Doesn't he? He sent a message, didn't he?
Yeah,
Should we
let's
play
show
that, or-
Martin's message. Yeah, let's do it.
I haven't even seen this, so I don't even know what he says.
Okay. Oh, helps if I hit the right button. Here we go.
Martin Popoff here. I just wanted to congratulate Marco and Grant and myself on 1,000 episodes of The Contrarians. I figured I'd better say something. I know Grant and Marco, right now as I'm doing this, are working on a little bit more of an extensive show, but I'm just off on my way out west for a few days, so that's going to happen while I'm away. But I'm the one who noticed. I was just looking, lurking in our in YouTube, and I noticed, wow, 997 shows. We should say something about 1,000 shows. So I thought I'd say my piece, and maybe this is going to get stripped into another show, or we might do these separately. I don't know how they're going to use this, but I figured I'd better babble something because I was the one who spotted it. So yeah, I definitely wanted to congratulate these guys.
Shy about taking the credit for it, huh?
I love working with them. Nick, of course, as well before. And also I got to point out Reed Little as well, because he's been doing a lot of the hosting along with Grant, our esteemed chairman of a lot of hosting. Marco's been hosting as well. I've done it occasionally, but those are the guys that kind of pull these shows together and put it all together. Marco's the organizational brains around, scheduling everybody in that, running the Patreon. But yeah, just thought I'd mention a couple of highlights. We talked in the email about, or in the messenger, about those guys possibly looking up some highlights. But I just want to mention some shows that I've always got a kick out of. I love doing those really in-depth review shows that I did with Ralph Chapman, a buddy of mine from here in Toronto. There's about 5 of those. You can go check them out. I loved the stuff Marco did on that Hypnosis show, where we moved around the titles and album covers and discombobulated the catalog and came up with these new album covers. I still look at that one every once in a while and think that is so cool. We got to do more than that. And speaking of album covers, Grant's been the big architect of doing all of those Wednesday night live StreamYard album cover shows that we did for forever. And we kind of let it die because I think we felt like we couldn't think of any more ideas by keeping it strictly album cover. And I was the guy cracking the whip who kept saying, no, we got to keep this about album covers, because other ideas, we need ideas for everything, right? Including I need ideas for Goldmine Top 10 lists, working with Pete on Friday at the Funhouse. I need ideas for my audio podcast, History in 5 Songs. So yeah, I don't think we're ever going to run out of ideas, but we certainly, there are some really obscure album cover shows that we did, believe me. So go check those out as well. I always love doing the April Fool's shows too. I think those are kind of cool. I always check once in a while and see if anybody's commented on them. Yeah, we always have this thing, whether or when to say it was April Fool's kind of thing. So that always happens at that time too. So that's cool. Another little one that I love doing that did do so hot is when we did those concept album shows with Tim Derling. I thought that was really cool. And just generally speaking, I want to thank all the people who have become good friends of ours through the whole panel process that we had. So many great things get said about all these albums by all you guys. So it's great. And of course, many of you I've had in my books when I've been doing these panel books. And speaking of panel books, I mean, that whole thing, the whole panel process, me doing those panel books. Look at Tim Derling. Tim's cranking out the books. So it's really cool to see him join me in this Making Rock Books situation. That's great to see. So yeah, he's always been a great friend of the channel as well. But yeah, and just a little history. I mean, why is it called the Contrarians? You probably know, but it's funny. It's one of these names that kind of like Sea of Tranquility. Pete probably thinks this is a weird name. I wish I had a different name, but it's something that came organically from something he had before. And Contrarians, same kind of thing. This is something that we had because just spur the moment when Marco and Nick would come over, in the old days with all the film equipment, came to my office. I just very quickly came up with a concept that had legs for a little bit. I mean, it eventually kind of ran out, and we haven't done any for a long time. But we called it that because quickly the idea was, oh, how about one of the panel, one of us has a contrarian pick for a favorite album, and they have to argue that, and then so we had this whole structure going, and so if you go back and look at our very first episodes, I can't even remember when that was, but if you go back and look at them, we had this set structure that we ran for a whole bunch of the early episodes, and then as those started running out, we had to come up with other things. We've done a ton of things over these 1,000 shows. So, yeah, I'm going to be out in BC when the 1,000th show airs. And like I say, I don't know how Marco and Grant plan to use this thing that I've just yapped about. Yeah, hopefully you guys get to see this in some form. And I'm looking forward to what Grant and Marco come up with while I'm away. But thanks again to everybody who's been a Patreon. We couldn't do that without you. I mean, essentially, to make this even feel like any kind of a job at all, with a little bit of a paycheck attached to that, your being Patreons has really helped. And then we love how this idea is probably Marco's idea to say do that, and you can be on the panels. And then so many of you have come over and been on panels and started your own channels too, which is very cool. That's good to see. Yeah, thanks to everybody who's been involved with this, and of course Nick and Marco and Grant, and long may we reign, and long may we still keep coming up with ideas. That's kind of the hard part, but actually I just did a really cool show yesterday that you're probably gonna get a kick out of when you see it. But yeah, I want to do some more kind of weird stuff. But anyways, there you go. Thanks again. 1,000 episodes, The Contrarians.
All right, excellent.
Am I the only person that finds the flashing green light on Martin's microphone super, super distracting?
I was staring at it too.
I'm used to it. I don't even look at it. Martin, Martin is the ultimate contrarian, because really, without Martin, the Contrarians wouldn't exist. Marco, we are insignificant. Martin is the Contrarians. Let's be honest. It's so great. I should have pulled this clip, but I didn't. God, Brian, where were you when I was looking at these clips? Remember the show we did with Martin, and he ranked Kilroy was here a 0? He didn't even have to think about it. He shot back so fast. 0. God, that was oh my God, I loved it. Look at this. The Reed fan club's here. Nice. All right.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. All right. What else you want to? What else? What's up next, Marco? What do you think? What should we play?
Why don't, since Martin mentioned it, why don't you throw on there the April Fool's episode, Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell? We got a lot. This was like a huge video. It exploded because basically it was Martin ranks Heaven and Hell as the worst Black Sabbath album, and it was on April Fool's, and we got a lot of comments for that one before people realized it was April Fool's. Go ahead.
I love this episode so much. I laughed. I think I even commented on this one. I laughed my ass off on this. I was like, I didn't know Martin could do funny, but he's funny.
He's funny. All right. Let's watch a piece. Let's watch a clip. Here we go. Black Sabbath, Martin.
You look at the back and the guys are looking like, oh, what are we, some sort of new hair band? They all got really nice hair, and it's like, oh, what is this going to be, a hair metal album sort of thing? It's kind of ridiculous. And this guy over here, Bill Ward, he looks like he's, in Jethro Tull or something like that, right? So I'm wondering, what kind of record is this going to be? And sadly, it's not a good record at all. I mean, just to go through the songs quickly, you've got Neon Nights on here, which is a little bit of a punk rock song, but who wants them doing punk rock? One of the best songs on here is Walk Away. I'm the track order on here doesn't match the track order of the record, but I'm just looking on the back here. So Walk Away has one of the best riffs on this with that it's really, really cool, super heavy, and just one of probably the most inspired songs they ever did. There's a title track on here called Heaven and Hell. It's okay. It's not a bad song. It probably
you know, like they never played that song live, but it probably would have been a good live song, I think. Die Young. So here you've got Die Young and Children of the Sea on here, and this is a situation. So Ronnie's writing the lyrics. Die Young is about child labor in the garment district of India, and Children of the Sea is also about you know, against child labor in the fishing industry in Bangladesh. Lonely as the Word is on here, which is kind of a bluesy tune, and you know, I kind of wish Sabbath would do more blues. I would like to see a whole blues album from Tony. Tony always called them a blues band, and that's exactly what they are. They are not a heavy metal band. They're literally almost like a pure blues band, like a Groundhogs or something like that. But I would love to see Tony do more blues, or even something like, you know, he could have done a jazz fusion album with Ronnie kind of thing, right? Wishing Well is on here. Again, probably the second best track on this album. A really cool tune, reminds me a little bit of The Who. And then Lady Evil is on here, and of course that is about Wendy, right? It's about Wendy Dio, because, you know, things were not going well with this situation with Wendy managing the band, and of course Sharon Osbourne would soon take over. So there you go. Yeah, one more. I had one more prop out. So you know, Ronnie has these lyrics on Heaven and Hell and Blind Your Eyes and Steal Your, you know, the world's full of kings and queens and all that. And I thought, yeah, Kings and Queens, you know, Aerosmith already had a song called Kings and Queens, so I thought that was a little stupid. So they're doing a lot of copying of people on this record, and it's just not a good Black Sabbath record. I mean, Born This Way with Ian Gillan, way better record. You've got the Seventh Star album and all that great Tony Martin stuff, which did really well for them. That last one with Ozzy was incredible. So there you go. Worst Black Sabbath album, Heaven and Hell. Let us know what you think. I'm not sure when this is going up. I think Marcos got it scheduled for April 1st. But let us know what you think in the comments. Please support us on Patreon. We've got exclusive.
Oh my God.
So literally after watching that, I went and joined the Patreon because, and I messaged Martin on Facebook, and I was like, you know what? Children of the Sea being about fishing in Bangladesh is the funniest freaking thing I have ever read. And he was like, yeah, I just ad-libbed to that.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it was a shtick.
That was crazy.
Oh, so great.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and that became a tradition, and people look forward to it now. It doesn't have the same, I think that first year when that video went up, I think that was a lot of fun.
Was it last year that on Facebook, Martin did the thing on Taylor Swift, and freaking Swifties came out of the woodwork to attack him on Facebook?
You got to watch it. The Swifties are, you know, temperamental group. All right, cool. All right, what else Marco, what else we got? And I'll get it up. What else want to play now?
I don't know. Should we go around, maybe say our favorite moment that we've been on the show?
Oh, jeez. Oh, God.
All right. I have
Go ahead, Reed, if you've got one.
So I actually really enjoyed, I wish I had thought of this in advance because I couldn't think of any clips to pull up, but I loved interviewing Martin about his books. When he did the weird books on Blue Oyster Cult, Heavy Water, and I can't remember the other one, but Imaginos Revised and Expanded or whatever. And I told him, I was like, dude, you've got a YouTube channel and you're not publicizing your own book. What is up with that? And he was like, oh, well, you want to interview me? I was like, sure, I'll interview you about your books. So I had to get copies of them and read through them, and they're so like unrelentingly weird. And then I had to come up with questions and interview them, and they are. And one of them's got this great like hallucinating AI where it's talking about what the lyrics in the songs mean, and it's going off into something that's completely weird. But Martin is really a joy to interview. He's so used to interviewing people, but he gives great answers to questions if you get a chance to ask him about stuff. And I really enjoyed those shows. I don't think they got particularly high views, but I loved them.
Yeah. I don't know, Nick, you got anything?
Yeah. So the Metallica episode, and or the Iron Maiden episode I got to do with Martin, and that's going way back. I can't remember what episodes those would have been, but those were the original format. Just because both those bands, growing up were trading off for favorite band, and very important to me, and getting to talk to someone as knowledgeable and authoritative as Martin, and not just getting sort of taken to the cleaners and dismissed. I mean, your mileage may vary on your opinion. If you watch that episode, go back and watch that episode. Go back and watch those episodes. Sorry. But I felt like I put up a pretty good fight, a pretty good argument for and Justice for All and for Killers, and those albums they hold a very special place in my heart, and it was a little bit of like a coming of age moment for me. And I'm gonna be selfish with it and say the two episodes where I got to talk about two of my favorite albums with Martin. Highlights.
Sorry, I don't mean to jump in there, but I do want to say when I was looking for clips, I remember the Metallica episode, because I remember when we recorded it. After we recorded it, I remember Martin being particularly impressed with your argument. And when I was looking for clips, I was watching the episode trying to find a good clip, and I couldn't find one because the whole episode was good. I want to recommend, if anybody loves Metallica and wants to see like a really high level argument about And Justice for All, go back and watch that whole episode. It's worth pulling up. And I remember that filming because I remember Martin's impression of the thing.
Martin is a really special guy, because he'll let you know if you have a bad idea. He has no problem, so he's not going to coddle you. I remember one time I was like, "Oh, we should put our faces on a shirt, standing all like dramatically," and Martin was just like, "This is a joke, right? You're joking with me." But yeah, no, is getting some positive feedback from him was like did wonders for my self-esteem. I remember feeling giddy. You're like, I did good. Yeah. So those are my favorite. Again, very selfish. Hosting the panels will always have a special place in my heart as well, because those discussions were just a lot of fun, and the amount of knowledge and just passion on display was mind-boggling. But personal favorites, I gotta be honest and be selfish. So Marco, Grant, what about you guys?
Yeah, let me jump in because I saw a comment there which kind of coincides with mine, and then I'll let Grant can go after
go
that.
ahead.
But, because I see the comment, somebody asked, "How'd you hook up with Martin?" This kind of coincides with mine. So my uncle, he's a vocalist, and he was a vocalist in metal bands in the 80s, and he was in a band called Mystique, and they had put out a few recordings that eventually had become like collector's items to vinyl collectors and stuff. And Martin had written about Mystique in a couple of his books. He put them in the record collecting guide, and then the review book he reviewed all the bands that he put in the record review guide. And he gave a fantastic review, a 9 out of 10 to my uncle's album there. And I had an email communication with him when I was a kid, because he's from Toronto. And I was just asking him about, like, how did you know about Mystique and all this stuff? This is like 2001 or 2002. Anyways, he responded to me. I remember it was really cool. So later on in life, when I was into like film and going to school for film and television stuff, I thought, hey, it'd be really cool to document my uncle's band. And I remembered Martin had put out those books. I sent him an email, and we went. I'm going to show the DVD. This movie is now on DVD, but we met Martin through filming this movie. Nick and I. Nick was my audio guy. We had met. We used to work together in a warehouse. It's called Interesting Products.
That's story for another time.
Yeah, that's another. Yeah. So we went and we showed up to Martin's office, and he let us in, and he was very gracious. And I remember thinking, like, leaving. I remember just my favorite moment is just being so impressed with Martin that day, that I like walked away feeling like I learned something about music. Like I literally walked away thinking like I know more about music from talking to this guy. And just being in the car afterwards, I remember leaving with Nick and Aaron, who was there too. He was our camera guy, and just being really excited about it, thinking we had done something really cool. And I just thought it was really neat that Martin wanted to, because he thought we were so professional, he wanted to just continue to work with us. And I took it as an opportunity. and I'm really glad that worked out. And my second favorite moment is that all these guys who came on the panels fucking like started their own shows and stuff. You know what I mean? And like have a lot of success. And I'm seeing guys on other channels like interviewing rocks. Like I'm seeing Peter Kerr interviewing like Sebastian Bach and stuff like this. And I'm thinking like, wow, that's fantastic. You know what I mean? And Grant, your show and like I don't want to start naming people because everybody knows who they are, but like I'm just blown away by that. So I don't want to take credit for that because that's all you guys did all that work. You know what I mean? I'm just happy that we were able to just kind of create the conduit for it. Anyways, what's your favorite moment, Grant?
Well, my favorite, the thing that I was proud about was the Wednesday live shows here on the Contrarians, which I do want to bring back. But I think instead of just talking album covers, I think we ought to come up with some other topic because I think that was a good. Every Wednesday, people look forward to it. So we just kind of took a break. I would like to bring that back. I think that was great for the Contrarians. I'm really proud of that. A lot of the things that I'm proud about had moments that really stuck to my mind. There were a couple of moments. When I first started Grant's Rock Warehouse, when I first started, Martin got a hold of Marco and said, well, Grant's live. Why don't we go over and show him some support? And when you guys appeared in the chat when I was first starting the channel, really meant a lot to me because I'm going, oh my God, Martin and Marco are here? Oh my God, I just couldn't believe it. That made a big impression. The other impression that was big on me, as far as the Warehouse goes, was when Reed and Martin, we did the show on Sweet, and that show went big guns. And that was like any kind of first success that I had over there. So I want to thank Reed and Martin for that because that was exciting. And I think that might have been the first time Martin had been on the channel too, and probably Reed. So I was kind of nervous and, but it went well and it was a big show. I remember that. But all the Contrarian moments, since there's been so many of them, I'm just a talk show host. It's just a big blur, All of them were great moments to me. I love the whole thing. There's nothing. I wish I could remember more individual things, but when I go back and watch those videos, then it spurs something. But man, I will say this: those first episodes, I was scared to death.
I think some of the most fun moments were the ones where we were doing just the really loose stuff like the trivia nights.
Yeah.
And, it's being a commentator is one thing, knowing trivia is another. And I got stomped by everybody in those trivia competitions. The level of some of the guys, like I haven't seen Pontius in a while, or Pontus in a while, but that guy is
Pontus.
Yeah, he is a trivia machine. It was crazy, just the depth of trivia that the man knew. But those things were a lot of fun.
There's a lot of pressure on me because I would vet the questions, and if there was the answer to one of the questions was wrong, I would hear about it. If it was like, no, that album didn't count in 73, it was 74, you idiot, and I'd be like, I'm sorry. But shout out to Rand, who, oh my God, I've cried tears. Rand has made me cry tears. I love Rand, and he helps out a lot with our trivia, and he's absolutely hilarious. And I love Rand a lot. And shout out to, since we're talking about the trivia, Ralph from Almost Human, who has been on a tear on our trivia. He's the trivia champion on the Contrarians. So shout out to Ralph from Almost Human.
Oh, Pontus is over on Now Spinning with Phil.
Huh,
okay. All right. Wish Pontus well. He'd always bring it when he was on these shows. You have to admit, always great. But it's been a lot. I just want to thank everybody for McFadden, the brown noser. He is Marlon. He really is a brown noser. Anyway, we're about in an hour. I don't know. Do we anything else we want to show, Marco? Or are we good? I don't know.
Why don't you show, just because it's topical, why don't you show the video, our first 10K video. Joe's talking about Ace, who we just lost from the rock world about a few days ago, a week ago.
All right. Well,
so here's Joe Contrarian talking about Ace on our first video that blew up, our first viral video we were talking about, and it was Joe's idea. All the credit to Joe. He said, why don't we do was Wow, Wendy O. William, the best Kiss album of the 80s, because all the Kiss members played on it, and it was a great idea. It became like our first kind of viral 10K plus video. So here's Joe talking about Ace. Well, shout out.
All right, here we go.
I thought this comes out after Lick It Up that summer of '84, and I thought that was a lot more in line with Creatures of the Night and Lick It Up than Animalize. I'm not a big fan of Animalize. And then the fact Ace Frehley shows up on a song called Bump and Grind, I was thinking that he was back in the band. You know, I was done with the buzzsaw guitars. I mean, I liked Eddie Van Halen and Randy Rhoads. After that, I'm like, you know, I like the Jimmy Pages and the Ace Frehleys better. And Ace Frehley still put a signature on their sound. So I was hoping he was coming back, but he didn't. But yeah, this album is great. And is it my favorite Kiss album of the 80s? Quite possibly, and that's Contrarian, but it definitely stands up there with Creatures of the Night and Lick It Up. Now, I like Asylum. I like Paul's songs on Asylum. I think they're amazing, but Gene's work on Asylum is weak. And we can go over the tracks, because one of the tracks on this appears on Crazy Nights and is neutered as can be. It's a brilliant song on this album, and then on Crazy Nights, it is awful. So, yeah, I saw the Plasmatics open up for Kiss. I've seen Wendy O at a couple clubs here in Chicago. It was a blast. And then they did a reunion, and they played the Exit, which is a big punk club here, on their Maggots tour. So I've seen the Plasmatics twice, and I've seen Wendy O twice live. Then, unfortunately, she had a lot of mental health issues, which were well documented, and she took her own life in the early 90s, I believe, and that's unfortunate. But she was a maverick. I mean, she didn't take any crap from anybody, and if you listen to the lyrics, a lot of it's pertinent even for today, a lot of the issues that are coming up, and way ahead of her time. And it's unfortunate, because I would like to see her get her due. You know, you see someone like Miley Cyrus rip her logo off, and there's no credit given there. Yeah, you know, and I think more, you know, her doing rock history needs to come forth. That's my opinion.
All right.
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely. It's extremely
very
sad
contrarian.
how she passed away.
Yeah, very contrarian. All right, cool.
I was thinking we can't do my highlight reel this close to Ace passing, so
Yeah. Oh well.
We
All
love
right,
you.
kids. I guess we've done it. We're almost at an hour. I want to thank everybody for the support. I want to thank Reed, Nick, Marco, Martin, everybody who has supported the Contrarians, all the Patreon members from the past, Patreon members here for the future. The Contrarians is constantly morphing, and we do always want new blood. We'd like to have new blood on these panels so we can always get different perspectives, and it's really just a community here. That's all it is. It's a community here that people can get together and talk music, and that's all we really care about. We want to turn you on to stuff, and let's keep the music alive. So I'll give the spiel. What the hell? We do have a Patreon, like I said. We'd like you to join. If that's too much, we do have a Ko-fi. Buy us a pint or a cup of coffee. We'd appreciate that. We also take donuts. We love money here in the Contrarians, but like I said, it's all about the music. So, and also, I keep forgetting this. We do have merch down below. Get yourself a shirt. We should do like 1,000th episode celebration shirt. I don't know.
I like it.
I could do that. All right, everybody. We will see you, gentlemen. Thanks for doing this. What's next on the Contrarians? Not exactly sure. Now we're going to have to start cranking out more stuff since we hit our 1,000. All right, gentlemen, we will see you. See everybody. Appreciate it.
God, I hope this is our 999th video.
It should be. Once it posts, it's not posted yet. All right, we'll see everybody.
all right.